of You, Me, and He, a show that's going streaking. We're going up the quad to the gymnasium. Come on, guys, we're going streaking. Bring your hat, baby. Snoopy Dog. So good, so good. Hey, I am your host, Rob Lambert, and I am joined by my co-host,
Josh Frankenstein.
And Drew Carroll.
That's right. Good to see you guys. Good to hear from you guys. Hey, fellas, I gotta tell you about a situation that went down last week, and it's a situation that I'm not proud of. Once again,
Yes.
And it was one of those moments where something happens, and you sort of like leave your body for a moment, and you're looking down on yourself, and you're asking yourself like, how did I become this?
Okay.
So here's the deal. Some of our listeners may know that all of us are involved in playing music for churches and, leading music and doing stuff like that. And so I was leading music at the church, and man, I just wanted to get the crowd engaged. I wanted them to just get excited. And so we're playing this song, and it's like a pretty upbeat, like fun song. And we get to the bridge, and it kind of like breaks down. And so I want people to start clapping. So I say into the mic, hey, everybody, put your hands together. That's fine. Not a big deal. But then I notice that there are people in the back who aren't clapping. So I then proceed to say, all the way in the back, baby.
All the way in the back, baby. Oh, that could be one of those YouTube fails, man. Like, seriously. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but like if you go on YouTube, you can see like worship leader fails or something. I feel like that could be one of those.
Dude, it was just like as soon as it happened, I just, like I said, I kind of left my body and I looked at myself and I was like, you're fired. What are you doing?
Oh, that's fantastic, dude. Yes, that's awesome.
So, not my proudest moment. Not my proudest moment. What can I say?
Not by any measure, but that's fantastic. How'd it go? Did anyone say anything to you afterwards?
Luckily, I don't think a lot of people really noticed. I think it affected me more than anybody else, and I didn't get a talking to from any of the higher ups. So
comment cards.
You in the back. Put your hands up, baby. Just defaulting. So awesome, though. And what did you learn from this, Rob?
Just sing, dude. Just shut up and sing.
Just shut up and sing.
If it's not on the screen, don't say it.
Like the Dixie Chicks. Just shut up and sing.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. I wish that one was on YouTube. That would have been great. I've come across videos, man, of like worship leaders who are trying to pray like in the middle of playing.
Oh, I could imagine that'd be so tough.
Oh my god.
I feel bad, dude. Every time I watch you do it, I'm like, man, how does he do that?
Yeah, it's some of them are epic fails.
I can't even think about what you're saying.
Yeah, like
when
just
you're
stumbling over their words. I like watched this one video where this one guy was like, "And God, thank you just for our hands." And I was just like, "What? Are you kidding me? Holy crap, dude!"
I mean, that's legit. I'm thankful for him.
But it was like followed up by just something ridiculous. It's just like, "Thank you for our hands and help us to put them together." And
all the way in the back, baby.
All the way in the back, baby.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's so. No, I'm glad you shared that with us. That's great.
Yeah.
So anyways, Josh. So how's it going with you, man? Talk to me.
Things are going well, man. Things are going well. It was a rough week. Let's see. I spent all day yesterday from the time of 2 p.m. until 10 o'clock, absolutely acting out a scene from The Exorcist. Like, it was bad. I had Carl's Jr. for lunch.
Ooh.
Yeah. No bueno. No. Double Western bacon cheeseburger.
It probably didn't look pretty.
Of course.
It makes me sick every time I think about it. Anyway.
Did you get that fried zucchini?
You know what? I probably should have. I definitely probably should have gotten the fried zucchini, but I didn't. I had crisp cut fries instead, along with my double bacon cheeseburger. And I don't know what happened, but I'm pretty sure they molded the patties from the sewer treatment plant down the street because something did not sit well, man. And it was not my most beautiful moment on the face of the planet. Let's just put it that way. So that was kind of like how I capped my week. I called in sick today. I was not feeling well, obviously. So I was just like doubled over. Oh man. I haven't thrown up in years. It's been years, man.
Josh, I want you to be honest with me.
Absolutely.
Did you go into a Shuke spiral?
I did not. However, my head did turn 360 degrees before I doubled over.
Okay. There's no shame in the Shuke spiral, bro. It happens to everybody.
Rob, why don't you explain that to some of our listeners, or do you think we should not broach that topic?
I'm gonna try to explain it in the most gentle way I can. It's where where fluid is exiting your body from your mouth, but also from your backside.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Okay.
if you imagine if it was extremely powerful, the propulsion would spin your body. And so that's what we call the Shuke spiral.
Oh, gotcha. See, out here it's just known as the human sprinkler. Like you're just turning on your stomach, man, as everything's just spiraling out of control.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, it's
Oh.
Anyway, so I mean, yeah, after getting over that, I sat on my duff all day today trying to recover. I feel a lot better, and I was just reminiscing, because we had the show coming up tonight. Just reminiscing about our time playing in a group and traveling. So I had this story that I wanted to share, and I want to call it "This One Time on the Road." Exactly. There we go. Some theme music. So for everyone who's listening, they know that me, Drewby, and Rob all used to play in a band together, and we used to travel quite a bit. When you say we used to travel quite a bit,
Yeah.
I would say so. We had our fair share of like weekend runs, right?
Yeah.
And so this one time, we went all the way to this area in California called Shasta, up near Redding. And we decided in between gigs one day after we had lunch to play this game called Pelt.
Ugh.
Do you remember Pelt?
Oh, I remember.
Rob, do you remember Pelt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pelt was this game with a hacky sack. You try and keep it in the air 3 times, and after you've hit it 3 times, you grab it, and you just try and hit the person that's closest to you.
As hard as you can.
As hard as you can. And we played with a hacky sack that was just like massive. Like, I mean,
It's pretty
it had
heavy.
some weight to it.
Yeah.
So we're in a parking lot and we're playing this game Pelt. And I just remember this one shot. I can't remember who threw it. I think it was me. I'm pretty sure it was me. But Andrew's gonna remember this story.
I've been
right
waiting for the
away.
punchline. I could still feel it.
So we're playing this game called Pelt, and we're about like 20 minutes into this game.
I wasn't
And
even playing.
We've been kicking the hacky sack around. Andrew actually just sat down, and Rob's playing, and our buddy Arturo, who was our bass player, he was playing. I'm pretty sure Daniel, our guitarist, was playing. And Andrew's just sitting over there, just sitting like 5 feet away, 7 feet away from where we're playing. And we get the hacky sack up in the air 3 times, and I grab it, and I'm just trying to hurl this hacky sack at our bassist Arturo like as hard as I can. But unfortunately, Andrew is just like sitting right behind him. And in that moment, Arturo just made the right spin move about 3 inches to his left. And I totally missed him from like 5 feet away. And this hacky sack just hurls across the parking lot 20 feet to where Andrew's sitting and nails him in the hacky sack. Andrew doubles over, just done. And that was one time on the road.
Yeah, dude. I think about that one often.
Yeah.
I still don't play hacky sack.
To this day, don't play Pelt. Anyway, so that was my week, man. I capped it off feeling sick, just reminiscing about memories, and that's where I am. How about you, Drew?
Oh, it has been pretty slow now that harvest is over.
Yeah.
I haven't had much to do at all. It actually gets kind of depressing sometimes when all your friends are at work.
I'm just, hey guys, playing with that 13-year-old.
Hey, I gotta tell you, dude. A couple months ago, so this wasn't this week, but now that we're talking about this, I was in the gym and I was talking with some friends, and they were talking about work, and I was talking about how slow work was, but I'm on salary, so I don't really care when I'm slow at work.
Right.
And this guy overheard me, and he came up and he goes, "Hey, I think I could get you some work if you need some work." And I'm like, "No, I have a job. I'm good."
Oh, Oh, okay, that's.
He's all, well, I overheard you, and I'm like, no, I'm good, man.
No,
I wasn't complaining about it.
I have a job. I actually get paid. Like,
Poor guy. I felt so bad for me. There's this 30-year-old without a job.
dude, that's hilarious.
But yeah, no, everything's been good. I'm gonna start petitioning next week. Not excited about that at all.
I actually had someone ask me the other day when I told them that you were going to be doing that. What's petitioning?
You're collecting signatures for ballot initiatives. For those of you who don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh.
Ballot initiatives are things that you vote on.
Hey, you know what? You laugh about it, but it happens.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're that guy who comes up to us and is like, "Hey, moment of your time. How you doing today, guys?"
You know what it's like, Rob, when you're trying to go into the grocery store as fast as you can because you don't want to be stopped by the guy with the table outside. And then on your way out, you know that he's there. So just before you go out through the door, you like swiftly step as fast as you can with the cardigan just to get your family out.
My favorite, there's two that I really like a lot. Okay, there's the fake cell phone, with the fake phone call.
That's what I was going to say.
I love that.
Suddenly you get a call.
No, that one doesn't
Mom.
fool me.
Sorry.
I still yell at you. I don't let that stop me. I think you're rude for not listening to me and pretending to be on the phone. And then the other one is, those yellow things like right as you're coming into the door and they have those stumps on there and you go through with the cart and it's super loud.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Right when you're about to pitch somebody, they hit that thing and it's so loud, dude.
Their groceries are all bouncing out.
Oh yeah, by the time they get past it, you're done and you just don't even want to say it again.
In petitioning. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
for all of you out there, if you see a crazy guy who's not working right now but looking for work just after harvest,
I'll be hitting all the college campuses in California. Campus tour 2017. Woo!
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of moments that would be ridiculously awkward, what's more awkward than watching a movie and people just start singing out of nowhere? Am I right?
that's right.
Well, hey, how's that for a segue? I was just trying to figure it out. So tonight
It works.
I actually got confused for a second.
Yeah. You're a part of the show.
I was trying to. Well, yeah, I was trying to think about any time where I've been sitting there watching a movie and someone started singing, and then I remember.
Then you remembered our main topic for tonight.
Yeah, nobody does that.
It's all right.
Dude. Connecting the dots, bro. Connecting the dots. All right. So tonight we thought it would be awesome to talk about our favorite musical films. Because let's be honest, there's some people who think that musicals are ridiculous or they're dumb. But look, I'm a man, and I'm okay with the musical. I think it's beautiful. It's a world that I wouldn't mind living in.
That's right. Yeah.
So here's the deal. What we're going to do is we're going to do a top 3 musical films. We're each going to choose one. We're also each going to have a sort of an honorable mention that we want to throw out there. But for the sake of time, so it's kind of like a top 6, but really it's going to be a top 3. So we're talking best musical films. Who wants to go first?
I will go first because I'm going to throw this movie out there. This movie starred one of the best guitarists in rock and roll history. And probably one of the funniest guys before he became kind of like a comedian on film. I'm talking about the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, Mark
Dude,
Wahlberg
this
is the
movie-
best guitar player ever?
No, I'm sorry. Zach Wilde, I'm sorry, starred in the movie. The reason why I bring that up is because I don't know if a lot of people know, but Zach Wilde actually wrote a lot of the music that's in this film. And I mean, it's like totally picturesque.
They have
of
like a
80s
whole
music.
all-star cast of
Well,
musicians.
yeah, but I'm a guitarist, so
Yeah.
my focus is, Zach Wilde, obviously. So I think that is probably arguably my favorite music film, just because of the embodiment of what it's actually like to live the rock star life. And obviously there's the philosophical theme going out throughout the movie. It starts off with him wanting to be a rock star, but really at the time he wants to be his idol more than anything. And you probably remember the line from the film, right? His brother says, "You know what's pathetic about you? You dream of being somebody else."
Yeah.
You know, and the movie wraps up in the end with him actually becoming, you know, who he is as opposed to having lived this rock star life. But what I love about it more than anything is just the originality. I think. I think it just picked up what that type of life was, what you don't get out of it, but what you expect to get out of that life, and just it's awesome, man. It just I loved it. So that's probably my top film, and I'm sticking with that one.
Dude, I'm down with it. I think it's totally awesome. It's one of those movies where like I think everybody, like anybody who watches it is going to enjoy it, but especially if you're like just the time that it came out and like we were playing in a band and like you're seeing these guys who are like trying to do something awesome and like this dream of like this dude almost like idolizing this band and then eventually becoming
Steel Dragon.
Yeah, becoming the lead singer of his like dream band. Like it's pretty crazy. It's interesting. And then just to see like the parts about it that are a dream come true, and then the parts about it where he gets like kind of a rude awakening of it's not maybe all it was cracked up to be. I don't know, dude. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's just awesome, man. It's just an awesome film. I mean, it's a great story. I mean, it's something that everyone who plays music kind of dreams of at some point, you know, just making it big, whether it's on your own or whether you get kind of like hooked up into another band. And I mean, it was really funny too. I mean, you remember at the beginning of the film, dude, after they go to that first concert and the two cover bands are out in the parking lot.
Oh, man, that's like one of the best scenes. They're all fighting each other.
Can anybody tell me, did he ever actually have blue lapels? I mean, come on.
Did Bobby ever wear a vest with red lapels?
Oh, there you go.
Dude,
So ridiculous.
The movie just rocks, dude. It's awesome. So it's probably, if it's not my favorite, it's definitely up there in terms of, you know, music movies. It's in the top 2 or 3, and actually for probably all my favorite movies, it's in my top 10, probably easily, because I'll watch it on a rainy day when I just want to feel better. So
even out of all my movies, it's probably still in the top 2 or 3.
really,
Yeah.
okay.
That was a big movie.
I'm sorry,
For
dude. I
us.
shouldn't have taken that one away from you.
No,
I
it's
apologize.
okay. My other ones are really good.
Okay.
Well, one of them is.
Dude, I have to say, one of my favorite parts of that movie is when he is in the office and he's like trying to fix the printer or like reload the,
dude,
the toner.
so
and the guy
awesome,
keeps looking
man.
at him and he's like, "Are you wearing eyeliner?" And he's like, I'm in a band.
Oh, dude.
That is awesome. You know what? I always used to laugh at that until I started getting that. And then I was like, oh, you know, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, after our band broke up in what I would say was 2006.
Oh man, that was
I think
a
so.
long
Yeah,
time
I
ago.
think it
might
was
have been
06 though.
before that.
Yeah. And Andrew moved to LA after not too long after that time. Probably like 2
2008.
years. Yeah, so 2 years afterwards you moved to LA and started playing in a band that actually did wear makeup.
Yeah, we did. I played in a few bands that wore makeup.
He looked like a red,
beautiful
white,
man.
and black pirate.
Thanks, Rob.
You just look like a beautiful, beautiful man.
The way that we're meant to look.
That's exactly
It
right.
kind of
Just
reminds
pretty.
Okay, so going back to Rockstar, dude. Remember when they're all trying to get ready for that show, that industrial show, like in the manufacturing plant or something?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, "Man, how much of this stuff do you put on?" It's mascara.
Oh yeah.
Or, I mean, foundation. He's like, "Man, I just keep putting this stuff on until I want to do myself."
Yeah.
See what I mean, dude?
Oh.
That movie just it's awesome, bro.
I will say that like one of the things that I love about that movie is that like it tracks with them like when they're first starting out and then through all the fallout and all the crazy stuff and the high highs and the low lows. And then I love at the end that like I haven't seen it in a while, but if I remember correctly, like doesn't Mark Wahlberg like walk into like some cafe or this little venue and he sees the other guy who was in the cover band back in the day, who's kind of playing like just like a completely different style, kind of mellowed out and stuff, and then they kind of get together, right?
Yeah, actually, they run into each other on the streets in Seattle, and timeline wise, they're supposed to get kind of caught up in the entire grunge scene. But yeah, they run into each other on the streets of Seattle, and then they form another band years after their original like cover band broke up, and they've created their own sound. They're both writing together, and it's a really good like cap to the movie too. So
yeah, dude,
like one of those circular things.
I just hold it in my heart that it's someday someday I'm gonna be like walking down the street, and I'm gonna walk into a cafe, and then I'm gonna see you and Andrew right there just doing something, and I'm gonna be like,
I'm just gonna join right in. Anyway, Rockstar, yeah, great movie.
All right, what's your honorable mention?
Oh, my honorable mention. I'm saying this because I just watched it the other day, but there are a lot of great movies out there. However, this one just resonated with me. Almost Famous. Almost Famous was an awesome movie, dude. It was so good.
My favorite part of that movie, dude, is when the plane's going down.
Yeah.
And the drummer's all, I'm gay. And then it levels out.
Yeah. Well, this is just right after, like, they're all screaming at each other in the plane. I hate you. I wish you would die. That type of thing. And then the plane levels out. All these secrets are out, dude. And then as they're coming down the hangar after getting off the plane, they're like separated by 20 feet of each other.
Yeah.
To be around each other. It's just, man, it kind of reminds me of like what it would be like to have traveled with the Eagles.
I'm like, sure, dude. That's probably word for word a fight that happened.
More than likely. I bet you Glenn Fry was just like, you're going to die.
Yeah, dude. That was awesome.
So, yeah, honorable mention. I'm going to go with Almost Famous.
Dude, there's two things about that. My favorite part of the movie is, I think it's is it the guitar player who's standing on the roof and he's like, I am a golden god.
Yeah, I'm a golden god. Yeah. Still one.
And then doesn't he also say, and also I'm on drugs?
Yeah. Well, they're asking him what they want his famous last words to be. And he says, I'm on drugs. And everyone like cheers, is going crazy. And one of the guys is like, Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want your last words to be? He's like, I am a golden god. And nobody cheers. It's just like awkward silence while he's standing on this roof before he jumps into a pool. And then he's like, I'm on drugs. Everyone starts cheering and he jumps in the pool. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It was that was a great movie, dude. So what you got, Drew?
Well, speaking about inner workings of the band, I think this one says it best. This is Spinal Tap.
Yo. Yes. Dude, that movie's...
I think this one answers any questions anyone might have about what it's like to be in a band. Yeah, you could literally have this whole podcast based around just quoting that movie. And I think one of my favorite parts is when they get lost trying to find the stage.
Like, all right, let's rock and roll, let's go. And then like 20 minutes later, like, rock and roll, let's go.
Rock and roll, let's go.
I did like the little the play on the Ozzy Osbourne thing, where
Stonehenge.
Is there Stonehenge?
It was too small. They had the dwarves dancing around it.
Yeah, so for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, in this part, they're doing this planning meeting of what their stage should look like, and they want to build this life-size replica of Stonehenge, like for this epicness. And on this napkin, as they're drawing everything, they draw this little small portion of Stonehenge, and he's like, it's got to be like 24 feet high, man. It's going to be like 24 feet high, right? Except on the napkin, he writes inches. And then they turn it in to get it done, and they get it back 2 weeks later. This is like this little 24-inch high Stonehenge replica. And the guy's like, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Oh, we love it, man. Yeah. No, when's the big one getting here? The guy's like, no, that's it. No, man. No way. We said like 24 feet high. No, I have it right here. He shows him the napkin. It says 24 inches on the napkin. So they use this replica on stage, and they hired dwarfs to dance around it. So honorable mention. What's your honorable mention?
You know what, man? This was a tough one for me, but I went with School of Rock. I thought that was pretty solid. I had to go through a list of movies today.
Oh, did you?
Oh, I went through an entire list. I saw some ones I would never vote for sure. Some I wish they never made, maybe.
Like Kelly and Justin's tour around the world? Or
Oh, my gosh. Don't diss Kelly and Justin, bro.
yeah, no. Probably shouldn't.
We're having them on the show next week.
Justin Guarini, if you're listening, I apologize.
I don't. Yeah, School of Rock was good, man. Like I said, I don't remember a lot of parts from it because it's been a while since I've seen it. I think I've only seen it like a handful of times.
You know,
too,
one
like
part that
3
really
times.
sticks out to me is when he shows up and he's hungover.
Yeah,
and
he
was
teaches a class, right?
Yeah, and he goes, oh, sorry guys, I'm hungover. And he goes, you're drunk? He goes, no, it means I was drunk yesterday.
Jack Black
Like
is
we're
awesome.
learning.
Yeah. I shouldn't have started talking about Jack Black because I started having all these scenes from all these different movies, dude, flashing through my mind.
All right, you guys went in like a very awesome direction with your choices. I feel like mine are going to be a little bit interesting. So here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm going to share them, and I'm going to be proud of them. But if the floodgate of just criticism starts to open, let's do this. I'm not even afraid. So here we go.
All right. You're scaring me.
So
a
we
little bit.
we had Rockstar, we had Almost Famous, Spinal Tap, School of Rock. I mean, there's a little bit of a theme going. So to continue with that theme, my number one pick I'm going to go with is that rockin' film, Moulin Rouge.
Oh, Moulin Rouge.
You know what, dude? If this was a list of guilty pleasures, I probably would have said that one too.
Yeah, I'd probably get on board with it. I'm not gonna knock it because I'm not gonna sit here and lie either. I saw that movie my first year of college, and I mean, in all honesty, I did. I liked it. I thought it was awesome because it took modern music, put it into a musical,
And they did a great job with the
Yeah.
score. It was great.
But
it was really good.
Yeah, guilty pleasure movie, I think.
Dude,
Let's talk about all the funny scenes.
In all honesty, you were driving home from college and you were pumping the soundtrack going, "Come with me."
Dude, I only did that like 30 times.
Dude, what I loved about it was exactly like what you said. They basically took a lot of different genres of music.
They did.
And
Yeah.
like a lot of different artists and melded them. There's a lot of medleys in the score that are like you would never imagine that they would go together, but it turns into this like just epic, awesome score. I don't know. It was just awesome. I loved it so much.
That film actually took a lot of critical acclaim when it first came out because it wasn't original music.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying. I remember it got trashed by Hollywood elitists and critics because they were like, "Oh, well, it's not even original music. I mean, any idiot could do that." Dude, there are not a lot of people out there that could take so many different songs from different genres, from different keys, put them all together that could be sung by the same people in an adequate manner, and make it all sound like one song, like it flows together. That actually takes a lot of talent.
Yeah.
I mean.
And there was a lot of choreography in that one. It was really good. I think the whole era that they used, that whole bohemian, it was just cool. It was a cool movie.
Yeah.
There was a lot of interesting stuff. It keeps you entertained the entire time.
Yeah.
And like you guys have both said, the music was fantastic.
Yeah. Baz Luhrmann doesn't get a lot of credit in my opinion. I don't think he was the director. I can't
agree.
remember if he wrote it. But, I mean, he's the same guy that brought us Romeo and Juliet, the modern Romeo and Juliet. And then did you guys ever see...
He uses that same guy.
Yeah. Yeah, John Leguizamo.
Yes.
He uses him in a lot of films, yeah.
And I like that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got like an artist's mind. I think that's why a lot of people don't like some of the stuff that he puts out, or why he's not the most popular. But, I love the approach he takes.
I'm sure a lot of women love those movies. Guys, guys either love it or they're say they don't and they lie about it.
Yeah, kind of like Pitch Perfect.
Exactly.
Kind of like Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect is funny,
dude. Pitch Perfect was hilarious.
Yeah.
The The vocal arrangements
are
were
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, a lot of people will not admit to liking it because it was a chick flick.
Yeah.
Chick flick.
But it was still awesome.
Oh my God.
Awesome,
You're
dude. Just pulling it
ridiculous.
right from the movie. That's fantastic. So, no, I mean, I hear you, Rob. Like, it is a different direction, like, you know, because that's more of like a musical movie instead of a movie about music. But good choice still, too, man. I mean, I like it. I think it's a good movie.
Here's what I'll say. Number one, if you're a man and you've never seen Moulin Rouge, just swallow your pride. You're going to love it.
That's
So
right.
good.
Pull your lady close to you.
Just even if you're just a man home alone and you're just deciding on a Saturday night you're going to pop in a film, just stay home alone and watch Moulin Rouge. No one's going to judge you.
Because there won't be anyone around to judge you.
Well, yeah, just don't tell anybody.
Yeah, or
That's
that.
true. So here's what I'll say. For my honorable mention, there's a line. There's actually a line that I'm going to draw from Moulin Rouge to my honorable mention, because one of the great things about Moulin Rouge, diversity of artists, genres all melded into one. One of the artists that is a part of that film that they use his stuff to just beautifulness is David Bowie. So my honorable mention musical film is one that I grew up with that I didn't realize was a musical film. It was just a cool movie that I love to watch, but now when I look at it and I think back, I'm like, holy crap, like, it's a musical. There's tons of music in it. People
Right.
singing all the time, especially David Bowie. David Bowie with rock star hair wearing a codpiece.
I know
I'm talking
where you're
about
going with
Labyrinth,
this.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
talking about Labyrinth.
I knew it. David Bowie. How we'll miss you. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, dude.
No? You don't think so?
He was the Goblin King, bro.
Andrew's kind of shaking his head over here.
I didn't say anything.
I'm just saying he was an icon, man.
Yeah, he was.
I mean,
I
yeah.
have nothing bad to say.
Yeah, didn't have to love his music, but yeah, he was an icon. So I
You
thought
did
maybe you
have
were
to
like,
love his
you know, shaking your head and you're like, nah. So not a bad movie.
You
I'll
gotta
have to
love
go back
Bowie.
and watch that one, Rob. I haven't seen that one in years, probably since I was like less than 12, I think.
You
So-
know, I saw it in my 20s, but I don't remember that much of it.
Didn't that movie also star Tom Cruise?
I think you're thinking of
No,
Legend.
no, you're thinking of Legend, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a
yeah.
cool movie too.
Yeah. All right.
I like that movie.
All right.
But so Labyrinth started David Bowie opposite of a young Jennifer Connelly.
Okay, yeah. No, I remember her being in it.
Yeah,
For some-
which is
I don't
crazy.
know why. I don't know
that-
why I intertwined those two, but yeah. Okay. All right.
It's kind of this. It was the same kind of era, a similar genre, but yeah, Legend was like a lot darker than.
Yeah.
Although he was basically Labyrinth was about David Bowie stealing babies.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Oh,
Legend-
man.
Legend also was not a musical.
No. But like I said, man, it's been like years. It's been decades actually since I've seen either of those films. So I'm not-
Time to watch both.
Speaking of Jennifer Connelly, man, do you remember when The Rocketeer came out?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
That's a great
She
movie.
was in that movie.
love it.
Yeah.
My favorite character was the big ugly dude.
Why?
when he's up on that blimp and he's like tied to it, and he just just ugly as can be. You're like, you know what? That is the scariest thing that could happen. Be on top of a blimp and that guy's chasing you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like that's your ultimate nightmare scenario.
Yeah, I
pretty
never
close.
knew that it was going to be anything like that. And here we are.
Yeah. Good
That's
times,
ridiculous.
man. I feel like there's a lot of movies to go back and watch now.
Yeah. Oh, hey, save it for the next episode, baby. We'll
Yeah,
do it.
I will.
So
I
hey,
will.
if you haven't checked out any of these musical films, you definitely need to. And if you have some favorite musical films, we would love to keep the conversation going, and we would love to let's debate it. Who won? Who had the best musical film? Who has the best musical
That's right.
films? Let's talk about it. You can tweet at You Me He Podcast, or you can leave us a comment at facebook.com/You Me He Podcast, and we would love to hear from you and your favorite musical films. Let's talk about it, baby.
That's right. Bring it on.
You're not supposed to say that. That's why you said that at church.
just
That word
added
has been
baby
with
onto the
you.
end of
Yeah,
everything.
dude, that word has been with you for a number of years, man.
Hey, I could see him saying
Yeah.
that at like parent-teacher conferences. You know, all these places where it's just going to be weird.
Your child's not doing so hot, baby.
I'm sorry, I had to confiscate his iPod, baby.
Oh man. Yeah. You
I
need to
just
cool
think that you should invest in an after-school tutor, baby.
it. Oh man.
All right. Anyways, so speaking of people joining in on the conversation, we have a doozy of a question to talk about tonight, my friends, and I think we can have some fun with this one. So here we go.
All right.
This is our question for the show. If the
Does
Earth
this
is
listener have a
flat-
name? Does this listener have a name first?
So this question is coming from our friend Mark,
Okay. All right.
and this is
Mark.
what he asks.
All right.
If the Earth is flat, that should be a warning sign right there.
Oh, dude. How much time we got left?
hang on. Hang on. Eyes on the prize. If the Earth is flat, does that mean that we could put engines on it and fly it around space like a big frisbee? I love it. Let's talk about it.
I hope so. That's awesome.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, seriously, think about this.
No, if the
Could
Earth was
we-
flat, we'd be pretty stationary, wouldn't we? Like,
Josh,
I mean,
Well, no, you're
If-
still floating. You're a floating
if
flat
the
piece.
Earth is flat,
yeah, if. I'm going with it here. If the Earth is flat,
So based on your knowledge and what you know of flat Earth, is this possible?
no. But the question was, well, didn't Mark ask if the Earth is flat, could we put engines on it?
Let's address the
Whatever.
first question.
Anyway.
Let's address the first question, then we'll get
Yeah.
to the next one. If the Earth is flat,
No,
so, is
you
it or
can't
is
put
it not?
engines on it and fly like a frisbee. That's just ridiculous.
okay, but let's think about this. If you could build engines big enough, okay,
No,
you put one of them over on the side by Australia.
no.
Then we put one down on the other side, like southwest of Hawaii or over near South America. You
No.
kick those bad boys into afterburner high gear. Could we go zipping around the galaxy using the Earth as like the Starship Enterprise? I think it sounds amazing.
I don't even feel like
No.
putting engines on the flat Earth is the issue. How are you going to put them on the sun to perfectly follow us around so that we're still getting what we need from that?
This
If we fly
it's a
off-
one-way trip, bro.
We're talking about turning the Earth into a spaceship, a
We'll-
living spaceship.
We'll be
That's what we're-
frozen before we get anywhere.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you. Okay, what if the flat Earth? What if all of us went to one side and then we all jumped at the same time? Could we flip it like a coin?
Yes.
No.
I guess the question. I guess the question I'm asking is:
Oh,
could God make a flat Earth so big that He couldn't flip it like a coin?
Oh, let's hear it.
No.
Oh,
is
my
Josh
gosh.
like a resident flat Earth expert, or what's going on here?
Yes.
Well, there you have it.
Mic drop.
Josh,
What?
is the Earth flat, bro?
Maybe.
Oh, man.
I love it.
And
I love
it might actually be able to fly through the galaxy like a frisbee if we attach enough engines to it too.
Wait, so now you're changing
well-
your answer?
What?
You said it might.
What are you talking about?
I'm on drugs. Hey, if you have a question that you would love to submit, preferably something not referencing the flat Earth, you can leave that once again at our Twitter at YouMeHe Podcast or at Facebook.com/YouMeHe Podcast. And I'm just kidding. You know what? If you got flat Earth questions, Josh will be happy to
Yeah, just tweet me at you, me, he podcast or
Let's just do it.
You can find Josh at itisaflatearth.com.
oh man, yeah,
So good. All right. So we love to end every episode with a little something that we call the So Crate segment. So, fellas,
Love it.
in light of everything we've talked about tonight, we are older, technically, and hopefully a little bit wiser. So what advice would you give to a younger you?
Never ever wear a vest with red lapels.
Well, I'm going to have to go home and throw that away.
Andrew, what about you?
Always take a spare pair of underwear.
Okay, that's just sound advice. Sure.
Just in case of the Shuke spiral or what?
You never know.
The human sprinkler.
I think I would sit down with a younger me. I would look him in the eye and I would say, lock the door, turn off the light, and hit play because I'm not going to judge you for watching Moulin Rouge. Let's do this. Hey, we want to thank everybody for listening. We want to thank us for the use of our theme song via Con Dios. That's amazing.
That's
And hey, until next time, my name is Rob Lambert.
This is Josh Frankenstein.
Drew Carroll.
And just go watch Moulin Rouge. Don't be ashamed. It's okay, everybody.